Hello everybody, how are we feeling today? Let me see. Move this to here. Okay. Looks like pretzel is working. What do I need? I need loop back. Let me just check a few things, folks. Hey, we've got some music today. That's great news. Fantastico. Welcome to the stream. Anybody who's here nice and early. Let's see if I can't get my dashboard running so I can quickly move between the 0 tasks that I have. Ooh. I was trying this. Got so much stuff on my desk, it is actually unusable. Okie dokie. How is everybody? Let's go here. Make sure my mic is being picked up. That's good. Good news. Okay, we are in a slightly different setup today. GitHub.com. EmberJS RFCs. So because everything was running so slowly last week, I decided that I would use my even more complex setup, where Streamlabs, my streaming thing, is on a different computer to what I'm doing my development on. So hopefully we won't be bogged down all that much when it comes to NPM installs. Not that I'm going to necessarily need that many. But yes, so for any of you who tuned in last week, there is a EmberJS RFC, Ember Data RFC, that we were working on, where we wanted to enable users. Let me zoom in on this a little bit so people can actually read it. Boom. We wanted to enable users to associate links and meta information with individual records in a manner accessible via the template. Ooh. So this is essentially related to Ember Data. So if we look at Ember Data, no, not Ember Data. It's related to JSON API. JSON API. And JSON API, if anybody doesn't know, is a pretty cool, pretty nifty definition or spec or like guide or whatever the right word is for here, 1 second, my wife is just texting me. That can hold on a bit, I think. So it's a definition for your REST endpoints. So if you're building yourself a nice API, unfortunately, too many people these days, or olden days, or any days, would go, what do I want my API to look like? And just make it up from scratch. Whereas JSON API gives you a spec. And it has like a full-on specification of what you must or should or whatever do. We'll not get into the specifics of that right now, but the key thing is that this is the shape of the data that you need to use with JSON API. And we can see here that we have an article coming back, an array of articles is coming back in our data key. And the object itself has links. And we just need to be able to, in the Ember Data world, say, hey, what are the links for that article? In this case, it's self, but, there are other kind of links that you can specify, which is like next or, there's specifics. And there's also a meta one as well. I don't know if we have any meta in here. There's no meta in this one. I think it says it in here, meta. Meta information. So meta happens beside the data. Any members may be specified within meta objects. Non-static meta. The value of each meta member must be an object, a meta object. Is that it says about meta? Oh. Resource identifier object may also include a meta. And I think that's essentially the key here. It's like it has to be associated with a resource. So let's get into it. Let's see what we were doing. So last week, myself and Runspired, or Chris Thoburn, we're working on this work in progress. And I think what we can actually do is we can undo the whipness of it, and we can just have a look at what this is, and we can just go to jump to file. Okay, so what does this look like? Let's make it much bigger, because that makes it easier to read. So we have a test module, acceptance record, links, meta, and we have this thing, JSON API serializer preserves links and meta. So we did a bunch of setup, and then we are serializer normalizing response, and we're checking what that response is, and then we want to make sure that they are actually working. So if we go in, where are we? We go into packages. What's going on here? ZSH Xcode build. Why is what is going on? I'm going to turn up the pretzel a little bit so that I can actually hear it. I'll turn it down here so it's not overwhelming y'all. There we go. Let me know if the music is too loud, and I can sort it out. Okay, here we go. CD packages, and we wanted to go into Ember Data, and we wanted to go earn start or something. To yarn it, because we're in a workspace. Yes, because I was doing this on a different computer last week, so it's setup time as well. Let's have a look, see. Did I can mute that. Subscribers, sub points, viewers. How do I tell? Excellent. Okay, yeah, no, our quality is currently excellent for streaming, which is good. And this, look at this yarn install is not being hampered by my computer trying to stream at the same time. And this beautiful. Doesn't it make you happy? Makes me happy. Okay, then we can do yarn start again, maybe. And then I think what we were doing. Oh, probably. That's Q front end. Ignore that. Pretend like you didn't see anything. That's my weekend streaming project. It's not a secret. It's something that I'm actually streaming, which is fine. Let me just check and see. TWITCH. Just want to see if there's any big streamers on at the moment and see if there's any software and game development. Oh, White Panther is on. With 211 viewers, that's where everybody is. Everybody's hanging out with White Panther. Highly recommend if you do not follow her already. She is very good at what she does. Tests, yes, thank you. This is the test that we're trying to run. Now, what does this mean? So, oh, this is, and I don't think we need the container, so we can. Excuse me, container, go away. What? Ah, that's weird. Anyway, top level resource links are preserved. Well, it's the oh yeah, so it's there, that one. Ugh. Just couldn't see it because it was a different structure. Okay, so top level resource links are preserved. So that means that our serializer normalize response does not maintain the links in it. So if we just unroll some of the stuff that we did last week, we have a adapter, test adapter, that's returning us like information essentially. An adapter is kind of like the bit that talks to the network. So we're pretending to talk to the network, and this test adapter is doing the work for us. And then it resolves with the data, which is fine. Nice. So we can see that there's links and meta there. We're saying with collisions, and we're saying here data.attributes.blah. Okay, so this is just the normalized response, so this shouldn't be affecting anything. And I think the thing that we need to go and look at is go and find normalized response in serializer. And if I remember correctly, we were told oh, look at this. We have console log. Ah, yes, this is where we actually left off last week. So, these are two console logs that we have. I don't know what this one is. We can just get rid of that, but that's fine. We have two console logs. If we go here and jump to file, serializer.normalize, we have the model class and the resource hash. The resource hash that's being passed in definitely has links and meta, but then the data that comes out does not have either of those. So let's go and find out what this thing is. So serializer is what? Serializer for JSON API serializer. So that's probably going to be the same. Normalize. Let's find a normalize function. Maybe if I do this. Normalize. If resource hash attributes or relationships. This is interesting. don't think this is going to work as I expect. Because they're all going to have the same values, I think. 1, attributes links, attributes links, attributes links. Last one. So it doesn't matter there. So interesting. So it's an odd one because it looks like this needs to do a bunch of work. But I think we can just do links. Resource hash dot links and meta. It looks like apply transform also. What? We do have links and meta here now. Oh, we do have links and meta at the end of that thing, but we still don't get it out as a result. Which is interesting. Don't we think? Do we think that's interesting? I don't know if we think that's interesting. Let us have a look. JSON API. There were other places where we console logged. Here, this is in normalize resource helper. Has it there? So where's this called? Normalized store. We're still in serializer? Yes, we are. Let's push payload, which we're not doing. Okay. We're not doing push payload, we're just doing normalized response. Getting called where? Somewhere. So that's our, we're doing normalized single response. Yeah, so this is, I'm really confused. This looks like it should be close enough to the actual data. What's the oh, that's interesting. Result.links. Top level links are preserved. Top level resource links are preserved. I'm not in a proper thing. I think we might have to step through this because it just seems weird. Oh. Links in meta. Oh. There's a bug in our test. There's a bug in our test. It's data.links. And data.meta. Result.data.attributes.links and results.data.attributes.meta. We got it passing. So it was partially a silly thing. That's our test. That's fine. We can start getting rid of you. It was partially a silly thing that our test was checking the wrong thing, but when I was working with Chris last week, we checked these two things. We checked the resource hash before it went into normalize and the data that came back from it, and we were missing the stuff that was relevant. So there was a problem that we did fix, which is this one down here. I don't know why that's there. So that was the actual problem. I don't need you either. This is actually fixing it. So let us commit that, and we will say make sure links links meta are preserved normalized. So yeah, so that's an actual fix. And then what we're going to do here, we're actually going to commit this, the console logs here. We're going to commit this, and we're going to do add a test for meta and links in JSON API. Yeah, whatever. And we're going to force push that because, oh, yes, I do want to force push it. Because we actually created a pull request. Okay, we don't need that. Oh, hello. We have a resub of Dragon Blood for 7 months. Oh my. Wow. Thank you very much, Dragonblood. You are a legend. You probably have the longest streak now, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, where was I? Yes. Oh, we have Dragonblood has contributed 3,078 total to the persist chat message challenge. Does it? Oh yeah, okay. So there's almost halfway there. Nice one. Yes, so I created a pull request, I think. I think I opened... I did! Ha! Look at this! Amazing. Who's this? Life art. Enforce Canary PR library. I don't know what that means. But essentially... what that means. So essentially what I wanted to do before I took my Pomodoro break, but my Pomodoro break is going to be a bio break for myself today. So I'll be right back in 5 minutes. But by the time that we get back, we should have tests that are passing and make sure that I haven't broken any other tests. Because that's the thing here. It's like we're trying to thread a needle. We want to add the functionality but not break anybody else's. And hello PC 2097. Woohoo to you too. Welcome to the stream. I will be back in 5 minutes. But this is my normal Pomodoro break anyway, but just without me chatting during it. See you in 5. Oops. Always got a green screen again. Well, as you get to see literally behind the curtain. How is everybody? Did you miss me? Oh, what have we got? Tests. We've got a bunch of tests. CI, Chrome on latest. Cool. So, looks like things are working. Okay, so I'm not familiar enough with the differences between let's have a look here. Let's go into details. So it'll show us if we go into the summary. This is pretty intense though. So we lint. We have basic tests. And we have external partners. Ooh, this is fun. A lot of tests going on here. Yeah, I don't exactly know what I'm looking at. So while we're waiting for that to kind of run and just make sure that we haven't broken anything, let's go back and read through the actual RFC, because it's quite a small one, but I just want to make sure that it works. Sometimes users have meta or links information to associate with a specific record. Users of JSON API specification will commonly understand this information as belonging to an individual resource, while Ember Data allows for this information to exist on relationships, not allowed to exist on records, which has to this point been a glaring omission for users of JSON API and similar specifications. Okay, yeah, it's one of those things that if you're using it and Ember Data doesn't do it for you, it's not bad, let's say. It's pretty noticeable, let's say. Detailed design. In keeping with the current design of store.push API, which expects JSON API format, users would include optional meta and links information as member properties of a resource. Data, meta, links. Links and meta will be accepted anywhere as a resource. May be encoded in payload. So let me add some to-dos here. Included. Cool, because if you're familiar with Ember Data, not Ember Data, JSON API, woo, I have to get my terminology right. Essentially, you see here we have, in this case, a contributor array, but it has a relationship to a project, but the project can come down here. We need to make sure that this meta and this links works as expected. Links and meta objects used as resource identifiers. Link to another resource within a relationship. Not be used for the associated resource and will be silently ignored. So it's in the, there's a difference here. So let's go back up here for this example. So we see here, we have relationships, projects, data, type, and ID. And the project itself has meta and links. But in this relationship object, if there's a meta and links, we're just going to ignore it. Fine. Don't know if we should. It's defined. I guess we should have that in the tests. Meta and links in the relationship resource gets ignored. Links and meta on objects provided for relationships. Wait, what? What's the difference with that? Oh, the actual. So this one has the meta and links inside the data, whereas this one has it beside the data. So it's like relationships as many. Interesting. That's interesting. Didn't know you could do that. I'm learning new things every day. Woo. What do we got? Links and meta properties will be exposed as getters. Ooh, welcome the locks. You are very much welcome. You thought I wasn't going to stream? Why? What gave you that impression? Gotta get my stream on, yo. Let me have a look here. OBS is telling me that nobody's watching my stream. It says that I've got one viewer on Twitch, which I don't understand, because I know 2 people are here. What? Don't understand. Twitch is just giving out the viewership stats to other people, that's all. Let me see. So users should desire load it. Really? Two days till you can resub. Well, you missed the fun today. I'm gonna have to replay it because it was such a good notification. Boom. I'm working on specifically the Ember Data Record link and meta RFC. So not the stuff that you and I were working on, locks of rendering RFCs, actually doing an RFC, doing the work, you know, putting in the grind. Okay, so this is what Chris was setting me up for last week. So essentially all we've done now is we've done the serializer. Store equals blah adapter. Application model. Or that's it. Adapter.FindRecord. I'm wondering if we can. Yeah, this is an interesting one. Actually, no. What did I do here? Oh, I'm just bringing the to-dos. Ignore me. Chris said something interesting yesterday. Last week. He said store private. Oh no, I don't know where it is. Store index. Export store as default from private index. Export default as store from system DS model store. Oh, now we're getting into fun stuff here. Did you have time to do the each key thingy? No, I did not. I paired with Jen today, and we got the Ember Guides search back up and running. So I did one of the two things we talked about yesterday. Blocks, which is good. The thing that I want here is I want to do FindRecord. Yeah, what? Extends core store. Core store? FindRecord? So what? So much documentation, get out of my way. FindRecord. Oh god, how does this work? Just showing the possible ways that you could call it. Resource ID options. Resource ID options. Resource ID. In that case, options. I don't understand why it's defined like that. Very odd. Anyway. Normalize model name. Resource equals construct resource. Adapter. So fetching. Oh no. Refetch the record if the adapter thinks record is stale. The adapter. So store to find record. See, I thought Chris said something very astute last week that the store FindRecord is just give an identifier. Let's see if I can close this. The FindRecord method will resolve promise with the same object. FindRecord method promise by example. Reloading. Reload. Backward. Yeah, no, that doesn't actually solve anything for me. Essentially, to do FindRecord is doing FindRecord adapter. Oh, schedule fetch many. Want schedule fetch through fetch manager. Push payload. This is all a little bit complex. Essentially, payload is right. Payload. Channel level. So this dot push might be the right place. Back burner. Interesting. Haven't seen back burner in a while. JSON doc. Yeah, so I don't think that what Chris was telling me last week is as clear as what he was suggesting. Essentially, the thing that I'm trying to get at is that when you do a store dot find record instead of adapter dot find record, it does things like normalize response and etc, etc. So test. So that's one way of doing it. I want to do the same thing now, but through the store, I think. I have a feeling that if Chris was here, he would tell me to like do an extra step, like there's something in between the serializer and the store. And then I want to do cool. And then actually we have two here, so we want another test that is something along the lines of links and meta are overridden by no empty. So in here, I think we have a without collision. Is that right? ID 1. And we want result dot links dp. We're not doing the override here. Result.meta. Meta is we don't need the other one. Cool. So this is our next test essentially, and we're going to filter based on acceptance. Blah 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 blah. Filter. So record links meta can access links. So this is now kind of prescribed to us in the in here. It said something about getter we were proposing to add to overrideable. Yeah, I'm definitely skipping a step. Because essentially there must be something that can load this result into that model or whatever. And that's where we should be testing. But I'm doing it from the outside in essentially. It's one way of doing it. So now we have to figure out model we have to find a model in here somewhere. We can do model in here, no? Model is default. From private index, model.js. Model. Haha, we found model. Model extends Ember object. Oh, that's interesting. It's an Ember object. I thought we were moving away from Ember objects. Anyway, Pomodoro break. Oh, I keep forgetting. Pomodoro break. Woohoo! Whoop whoop. I keep trying to move my mouse from the screen to here, but it doesn't work because I actually am on a different computer, as I said already. So moving my mouse just butts up against the edge of the screen. It's not very useful. So how is everybody today? Let's see what Twitch is lying about my viewership numbers. Twitch is telling me we've got 2 viewers. Oh, community challenge 50% complete. Who did something? Woohoo! Whoop whoop! Who was that? Didn't say who it was. Oh, the locks redeemed a do Rust challenge on Exorcism. You just had to push it over the 50%. Okay, interesting. I haven't logged into Exorcism on this computer. Sourcism, exorcism. How do I spell it? Exorcism.org. exercism.org. We're gonna have an interesting thing. So can I get this running in the 3 minutes it takes for this Pomodoro break to end? That is the question. When do you have to do the Rust challenge? So I do the Rust challenges now when they come through. I just missed it because there was so much activity. People were chatting to me. So it's usually takes less than half an hour. So it's not usually a big deal. Next. Syllabus. Enums. Do more enums. Ooh. Marked as complete. So very complicated. Apparently I did a thing. Syllabus. Work locally by CLI. 1 minute 10. Can I do it? Exorcism not installed. Installing the CLI. Oh, brew install. Ooh. I don't know if I've done homebrew on this computer in a very long time. Yeah, so when the Pomodoro break is over, which is now, you'll be able to see what I'm trying to do. Zoom. So I'm on a different computer, so it's not got the usual stuff that I have from before. And to install Exorcism locally, I have to do brew update. And when I tried to do that, it complained. I bet it's something. And I'm just listening to the computer. Whatever the computer tells me to do, I will do. It is doing its thing. I'm glad that I'm doing this on a computer because this would have taken forever. Actually, while that's thinking about it, let me go in here and put in Rust challenge. And on the next task item. It's so over-engineered for such a silly little change to the overlay. Okay, cool. So now I can do brew update. Could not read username for HTTPS. Terminal prompts disabled. What does that mean? That before? Is that a problem? Okay, so it looks like that's not a problem. So that's just a warning. We can kind of leave it do its thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do that a bit more on the next Pomodoro break. After the next Pomodoro break, with the last little bit off the stream. Oh, I did a restart, so I don't have my calendar open. Let's just double check when my next meeting is. I think it's in an hour, so we have 2 Pomodoros left. That's correct, we do have 2 Pomodoros left. Cool. So I'm going to continue with the Ember data, and then we'll come back around to your thing, locks. Don't worry, I won't renege on it. The dependent key compact. Dirty attribute. Valid. Dirty. Tagged. return void 0. What? Void is a thing in JavaScript? This is a getter and a setter. Notify property change. Notified property key. I think that was my key. Belongs to as many. Or get. Or papers. Compute once. That is. Relationship names. Related types. Get. There's a bunch of getters down here. Interesting. Each attribute. Okay. It's interesting because I don't understand how. Like, is it a proxy? How proxies like the actual attribute stuff? Don't know how it works. I feel like there must be some sort of proxy thing for all of the attributes. But I don't see that. Extends prop. Very props. Very props. Yeah. Don't know if this is the right place. That again. Set prop. Create prop. See if we can find create props. I don't know. Let's try it with a model anyway. There's a bunch of getters. Let's do it beside the ID because that seemed... Don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to do get... what's the first test to fail? Links. Get links. See if what we have or what we need is on internal model. Okay, so we're never hitting this. Accessible. Attribute. So it's doing. It's just adding the attribute. So with collision, without collision. ID. So okay. We're definitely accessing result.length. But I'm surprised because I would have expected that to have hit our model. Console log. It's not here. It's reloading and it's rebuilding, but I don't know if it's actually... I don't know if it's actually doing something. So, file change private model. So it does look like it's noticing the change. private index model. What is this internal model? So hold on, let's go back and let's make sure that we're actually hitting something. So we're definitely hitting this file anyway. So record state. What is a record state? Doesn't look quite like what. This is confusing because I thought we'd be able to set what happens if we go promise. If I think, wait. Oh, it's always simple problems, isn't it? It's always a simple problem. Await. You should always check the top level thing that you're doing to see if it's what you expect it to be. Model. Come to file. In getter, this .internal model. Now the question is, what does this have in it? Oh, current state. Okay. Identifier, references, store, model name, ID, good data. I do think this is, I think record data is the thing that we want. Internal D. Data is no. Attributes. No. So I think in our test, name, meta, and links with collision, name without collision. Having name there, interesting. So let me just check here. Record result. Contraption. contraption. Okay. So we have an internal model, but I don't know anything about it. And I don't know. I don't know where that data is. Because that data is null there. So it might not actually be null because it might be unloaded. What we could do here is we could do a debugger and we can ask then. Go console. What is it? It's this dot internal model. This dot in internal, which has an ID as we saw. Record data attributes data so that is our key. Identify. I think what we need to have here is wherever that data is being created, I think where that data is being created in the record data, I think we need to make sure that links and meta it's interesting as well, because we're going to need to make sure that if you have links and meta actually get sent to the backend as well. I'm assuming we don't want to care about the we need to make it symmetrical. Where internal models being created. If not this internal model. So something's creating a model with an internal model from the outside. I think that's what that's implying. Ember Data test. What we want model. Oh, it could be from store. If has data has partial data. That. What is it doing? And then I want to see what the resource is here. Oh, it's TypeScript's complaining. It's doing all that blooming stuff. If I refresh that. I probably still have a debugger, so I'll do in my model. Get rid of you. The suspicion, though. Oh, in core store. Wants to return an internal model. Let's have a look at sources and see where it falls this. We fetched a record. Is this it? Structure. So we're making a new snapshot. Where is it? Options. Identifier. This doesn't actually add the data. It's just this is creating it before. This is creating the snapshot. Where is this? What's this? Fetch record inside. Oh, we've run out of time. Store private. So let's have a look there. Store private. Private.js. Ember Data Store private.js. Must be index. Doing fetch record. From stuff it up. What? Where is find coming from? What was that whispering? Store finders. Okay, we've found a lead. It's Pomodoro break time. Ooh, this is in the depths of Ember Data, and I feel like I am out of my depths. What do people think? Are they following along? Does anybody here know what I should be doing? Because I sure don't. Right. Let's see if I can make a bit of progress on getting exorcism working. Xcode alone is not sufficient on Big Sur. Huh? Xcode select command requires command line developer tools. Would you like to install the tools? I guess. It's broken something. Come on. Install. Oh, agree. About 61 hours downloading software. What? That can't possibly be right. Oh, it's changing. 83 hours. So it doesn't look like I'm gonna get your Rust thing done today, Locks. You're still with us. 104 hours. Oh god. Let's have a look. Is the Locks still in the chat? The Locks is still in the chat. Hello, the Locks. What do we think of the format of today's stream anyway? It is a bit... I'm not going to lie. Ember Data is a bit intenso. So it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. I'll see what I can do. Locks, it is starting to try and download, but 2 minutes and 50 seconds, it's not looking likely, not gonna lie. We'll see. Don't you worry. Anybody have any nice plans for the weekend? So because I'm on a new computer, I've not done any exorcism things on it yet. So I had to do brew install exorcism to like download and get the thing ready. But this computer has essentially been on cold storage pretty much since I joined Simp Labs. So many years ago, 3 years, not been used. Goat Noculars, amazing name by the way, co-working this weekend. Interesting. You have a working weekend. Tell me more, I'm interested. But yes, so I recently de-mothballed this computer. It's very out of date. And my first stream that I did on a Saturday, I like spent the first hour and a half just like trying to get it from not dying, and then it just really sped up when I restarted it. Oh, Locks has been feeling the itch to play music. Yes, I saw you were getting yourself a nice new instrument. I'm not going to spoil the surprise for anybody if you want to share things on your Twitter. Oh, my command line developer tools are installing. Tiny bass is on the way. Bass? Not a fish. It's a bass. What am I talking about? Oh, bass. Tiny bass. It does look pretty cool. I've never seen anything like that. I didn't know it was a thing. But I guess, what's the rule? You can think about it, it exists. Oh, community challenge, 50% complete. This is a different community challenge? 5,220 persist chat messages. Ooh, somebody pushed it over a little bit more. But I don't see the notifications coming through. Oh, Twitch. Oh, that's interesting. Same octave as the guitar, but real bassy sound, a bassy sound. It's you again, Dragon Blood. Yeah, you need to get a job with Twitch. You're finding all their bugs for them. Oh, nice. Headphone output. So you don't need any preamps or whatever amp style things you need to do. Program. Yeah, so about 18 minutes for installing command line tools. Yeah, that's not good. So we're going to continue with Ember Data. Locks, I think I want to refund your community points because that is just, instead of me having to remember, and I'm not very good at remembering. Where's my queue? Channel points. There's a queue somewhere. Oh, view the requests queue. Refund the points back to the user. Sorry, Locks. I will. I will endeavor to get it ready for you. Oh, Goat Noculars. Again, that's just such a great name to say. Cultivating a startup project that we've been working on for a few years. Changing direction a bit. Well, good luck with that. I know how difficult startup projects are. I was a startup founder in a previous life, and it is not easy. Store finders. So I'm going to do a find. So this is store finders. Let's do a export function find. What is this? What is that? Oh, TypeScript. What are you doing? So, find is the thing. Oh, FindRecord. Create snapshot. Options. Adapter for. This is it. This is where we need. So adapter for adapter, blah blah blah, schedule fetch, internal model, options. What's the adapter doing? Should we load record this? Okay, internal model, options, schedule fetch. Schedule fetch. So what is schedule fetch? Which is we'll fetch many through manager. Schedule fetch. Promise.then payload. So here we go. True. ID return return the correct record. Turn this Flash here breaks typing. Blah blah blah. Error. So this dot push payload. So that's the thing. It's doing a thing. Push JSON API doc. Oh, this is looking better. We're getting there. We're getting there. Internal push internal model included. We're going through push internal model included data. Push internal model data. Oh god. This dot load. Actually load the record into the store. We're getting closer, we're getting closer, we're getting closer. Come on, come on, come on. Load. Okay, let's console. We do this. Oh, I've got a debugger somewhere. Where is my debugger? Probably in the store. Get rid of you. Then we can refresh. Check what this is doing. 2 minutes till. Console. Setup data. Links and meta, they're there. Where was I? For store. Setup data. Jump to file. Internal model.setup data. Where did we? Ooh, new follower. Marsamira? Marsamira? Hope I got that one pronounced okay. Marsamira? Mars. Hello, Mars. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the stream. We're making a bit of progress. It's all a little bit complex, just outside of my comfort zone. But hopefully we'll be able to make a good bit of progress before. We have to call it quits today. So I had to find where this is. And I think I'm going to just debugger it. Because then we can just step in. I don't want to have to go find it. Where are we now? Private. Setup data. The TypeScript is changing the file name. Okay. Internal private. I have a feeling that that is in here somewhere. TS Model, internal model. Ooh, this might be it. What are we looking for? We're looking for setup data. That what we look like we're in? Push data. Record data. Okay, well, we'll go down again, won't we? Boom. This start record data is a getter. Going in. We already have a record data. We can go back out. Record, we can go back out. Back in. Push data. Record data default. So we have a record data. Even in the same model here. Ember Data, record data, private. Record data, add-on, private. Index, record data. This is, what's the push data? JSON API resource, perfect. Oh, my wife is calling me. Let me just see what that's about. Hello? Okay, looks like I have to call it quits just a little bit early, folks. I have to go in and check something with the kiddos. Let me see if there's a raid that I can send you to. Oh, ADHD designer. Let me send you over there. If anybody does go over to the raid, please let her know that I am not there because I needed to dash real quick. So, thanks again for hanging out, everybody, and see you again next week. Bye.